Monsters at Work. That's right. Pixar has been branching out into the realm of Disney Plus with original series. This is the start. Doug Days is coming up, which I think is just like some mini episodes. I don't remember, but Monsters at Work. It's 10 episodes long. This is the continuation of the Monsters Inc. movie. Now, it's not a continuation of Monsters University. That's a prequel, so Monsters Inc. Sully and Mike somehow are now they're running Monsters Incorporated. I don't know why. Just because they had one good idea, they're promoted. They're not the main focus of this story, and that might be something that takes people out of it a little bit because this is like kind of their story, but it's more about like the MIFT team, which is like the maintenance people that work in the offices of Monsters Incorporated. We just follow that team as they go on some hijinks. It is a workplace comedy. You know, if that's something you're interested in, I get it, because I think if you're going to do a workplace comedy with any Pixar property, this one or Ratatouille would be the ones you do it with. And Monsters Inc. is obviously in a big factory, so it makes sense to give it those certain feelings that we'd have some familiarity with. And for the most part, I think this show is pretty fun. You know, the characters are all interesting. All these new characters we are introduced to, like Tyler and Duncan and everybody, they are very enjoyable characters. And you just like seeing them interact and how they handle themselves in this world. They're very fun. They're very engaging. You enjoy them. You get their personalities instantly. So there's not much to that. But at the same time, it is very kind of cookie cutter, which is that's not a bad thing. But I don't think it takes that many chances in terms of like the jokes or in terms of the characterizations or in terms of the story beats. It's very familiar beats that you've seen almost a million times in other situational comedies that are like a workplace or something. And that's okay. You know, it doesn't have to be that grand thing. It's like, okay, it's a workplace comedy. They have to fix a vending machine, you know, they have to win the company bowling team or something. Like those kind of simple storylines, and they're pretty fun. Like you do enjoy yourself watching it. You get an occasional laugh and everything. And I will say the animation looks very impressive. Like it's clearly updated stuff from what we've seen originally from this like character concepts, but we're just like a little bit better in the animation in those 20 years. It looks crisper, it looks cleaner. It looks like they didn't cheap out on it, especially because it's on television essentially, that you'd think that like they kind of like cut some corners, but they didn't. It looks good. It looks clean. It looks crisp, which is very impressive. I did say Mike and Sully were in this. They aren't the main characters, but they do have a lot of play throughout the show. Like, they're actually in a majority of the episodes in bit roles. And they got Billy Crystal and John Goodman back, which, that's great. I mean, take the weight off of them a little bit for doing, like, the main voices. They already did 2 movies, so if you want to, like, expand the world, they don't have to be the essential characters, which I think is perfectly fine. I don't think anybody's going to be upset by that because they are in it, and they do end almost every episode, like, with Mike hosting, like, this comedy class, kind of, like, exploration of comedy. And it's kind of fun, I guess. You know, if, like, you're looking at like, the joke being these people don't understand comedy, and Mike's trying to break it down to them, it's kind of funny. At the same time, you're just like, yeah, we know. I don't know if kids are going to laugh at this or if kids are even watching this. This doesn't seem like just aimed for kids. You know, there's some of those, like, shows. I think especially, like, with the original, and you can look at it like this. So, like, the original Monsters, Inc. movie was aimed for kids because we have the kid as the central focus. Then Monsters University is definitely aimed for that demographic that saw the movie when they were kids. It was headed off to college, university, going to school or something. You could look at this being like that age group. Those kids are now working a 9 to 5, and we're making, like, an office comedy aimed for those kids. They're now like in their 30s and they're working, so maybe that's the target demographic for this. If it is, I get it, but at the same time, like, there's none of that, like, there's not much of like that original flavor of the original Monsters Inc. Like, it's sometimes there, but it's kind of also just like, let's keep things local. Let's just stick to the factory. Not much else going on there, and that's fine. Like, you don't have to do a lot to impress me, but you did a little bit of enough that makes me go, this is kind of cool. Like, I watched all the episodes and I had a good time watching them. I think it's fun to go back to this world, but if you're expecting to, like, be swept off your feet with, like, Pixar coming to television in a big bad way, I don't think this is it. I think this is a great outing and shows what they can do with their animation on a smaller budget. I don't know if smaller budget's the right word, but on, like, a stripped down version of a movie. And it shows they can do something cool. The voice acting is great. Like I said, Billy Crystal, John Goodman are in this. Jennifer Tilly is back. We have some of the newcomers showing up here. And Henry Winkler is a standout to me just because that's instantly a voice you recognize. And he just does a great job as his character. Like, it all works really well and comes together in a really nice bow. That bow is just going to be pretty aesthetically pleasing and easy. Like, you're not going to be like, oh, this is disappointing. You're just going to be like, oh yeah, I've seen enough shows that have this kind of beats to it, which I guess works for Monsters at Work. It doesn't have to blow its own mind, I guess. It's just a palpable show that's very enjoyable to some people, maybe not for everyone. But we got Pixar on television, so I can't wait to see what they do next. It could be a lot of fun stuff. It could be exciting to see if this gets another season. I'll watch it. I enjoyed what I saw. There's some funny moments and some moments where I'm just like, okay, yeah, let's move along. And those moments, again, they're not always aimed for kids. They're just like moments at work that just happen. So it's a fun show. Check it out. If you need something to watch it. If you're not straining for something to watch, it might be something you could skip and just watch when you're ready or when you have nothing else to do. So Monsters at Work season number 1, I am going to give a 6 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.